行くよ。
Urusei Yatsura is a series that means a lot to me. It all started back during lockdown when I randomly stumbled upon a certain music video that looped an animation of this green-haired anime girl with tiger-striped clothes. I instantly fell in love with the aesthetic, and future funk became the first, I guess, real music genre I listened to. As time went on, I got more into future funk and grew curious about that one anime with the green-haired tiger-striped girl. I don't remember if I was watching much anime at that point, but I was intrigued by that 80s art style that just popped. Eventually, I figured out the name of it, and where to watch it thanks to a friend. I watched the first 10 episodes, and I dropped it. Yep, that's right. These first 10 episodes were not the best first impressions for me, and after the heartfelt Christmas episode, I just sort of lost interest in it. Obviously, that's not what the story ends, or else this video wouldn't have been made. I think after a year, right around the time the remake was beginning to air, I was reminded I never finished the original series. So I picked up where I left off, and that's just where it finally clicked for me. Every study hall, break, and lunch, I would watch an episode or two, and I felt a sense of comfort every time I tuned in on the characters who resided in the wacky town of Tomobiki. I watched it when I felt as though I really needed it most. It's been a really long time since I finished the series and watched all the movies, but one thing I did not do was watch the OVAs. Largely because I thought movie 5's ending was so good that I didn't want to ruin its impact. The only one I watched was Inaba the Dream Maker, so while I love that OVA and it's amazing, I'm not going to be going over it in this video. Instead, I will be talking about the OVA's post-final chapter, so Raging Sherbet and onward. With that being said, my name is Mavericks, and together, we are going to take a look at the Urusei Yatsura OVAs you forgot about. After the development of Urusei Yatsura the final chapter, Animation Studio Magic Bus immediately worked on OVAs 3 through 9. In case you're wondering, OVAs 1 and 2 are just highlights and recaps of previous episodes, so they're not worth talking about in this video. Watching these OVAs immediately takes me back. I credit Urusei Yatsura for being the anime that truly got me into 80s and retro anime, because it is the quintessential 80s anime. The hair, the fun vibes, the vibrant colors that just pop, and that memorable soundtrack. What I'm getting at is these first 7 OVAs, including Inaba, perfectly capture that same appeal of the anime to the point they feel like extensions of the anime. Which, they kinda are, because they adapt chapters from the manga that didn't get adapted. Honestly, I like the decision to focus on adapting chapters that didn't get a chance to shine during the anime's run. These OVAs are all a blast, and I love the opening song that plays, which is a medley of the iconic opening and ending songs from the anime. Have a listen. Standouts to me are Rage Sherbet, I Howl at the Moon, and Catch the Heart. Starting with Rage Sherbet, this was a fantastic OVA to send me back to the wacky town of Tomobiki, and the perfect summertime Urusei Yatsura OVA to watch. It's a hot summer day, and Ron decides to borrow an ice cream alien from Oyuki to make a quick buck. However, Ron overworks it, and once it's set free, decides to wreak havoc and completely destroy Ben 10's bike. This angers Ben 10, which makes her hell-bent on annihilating it. So now Ron and Lum must retrieve the ice cream creature before Ben 10 kills it. We see many side characters make their cameos and even get a glimpse of Rama and Shampoo, nearly a year before the Rama 1/2 anime adaptation. This OVA is a great starting point as it draws you back into the chaotic world of Urusei Yatsura. Next is I Howl at the Moon. This OVA is focused on Ataru and Lum's relationship, which were my favorite kinds of episodes from the anime. In it, Lum decides to make Sakura Mochi to plan a romantic picnic for her and Ataru. However, instead of making Sakura Mochi, she makes Tsukimi Dango that turns humans into their persona. It's not all fun and games though, because if Lum doesn't give Ataru the antidote in time, Ataru will lose his memories and just become a wolf. Or maybe in an alternate universe he'd be found by Shampoo and turned back that way. It's nice to see Lum pour her heart out to bring Ataru back to normal, even when he's stubborn about trying the antidote, knowing full well that stuff will obliterate his tongue. In the end, he does recognize Lum's affection for him and decides to tough it up. God, the animation for this OVA is gorgeous. Well, so are the others, but I'd sound like a broken record repeating myself, so if I was going to talk about the animation, this was the OVA to do it. The last OVA Magic Bus worked on that I want to talk about is Catch the Heart. Lum gets handed heart candies from Ron that makes a heart appear above the heads of whoever consumes them. When walking to school, Ataru grabs a hold of the heart over Lum's head and is immediately nuked. Ataru thinks he could use this to troll his classmates that he doesn't like very much, only to find out that the heart actually makes Lum fall in love with the reciprocant. Lum figures out that this could be an opportunity to have Ataru finally show her some affection, but Ataru and some of the other students have their own plans. Pretty quickly, the class plunders into chaos because of course it does. This is the OVA where the core anime cast, including the stormtroopers, get to shine. Huge props to Shigeru Chiba's performance as Megane. He is such a good voice actor, and his performance as Megane throughout the anime has always been top notch. Chiba perfectly exuberates that unfiltered maniacal energy. Catch the Heart was the last OVA to be produced by Magic Bus on December 27, 1989. Urusei Yatsura would receive a brief hiatus before the sixth movie was released by Madhouse in 1991. Yes, that Madhouse. Along with the movie, they also made 2 OVAs, and man are they pretty good. I know I didn't talk about Nagisa's Fiancé, or The Electric Household Guard, or Golden Cheese, but I didn't have much to say about those 3 as I did for the others. I still think they're worth watching and checking out though, so don't neglect them just because I didn't talk about them in this video. With that being said, let's check out the 2 Madhouse OVAs. The first is Terror of the Girly Eyes Measles. 10 has the measles and is running away from Lum, who wants to give him a shot with a comedically large syringe. 10 infects Ataru, and so Lum also wants to give the shot to Ataru. He runs away contaminated with the alien measles that gives everyone Sailor Moon eyes. This OVA has a noticeably more muted color palette compared to the bright and vibrant colors you would usually associate with the series. It reminded me of Trigun's more muted color scheme. I couldn't tell if this was a deliberate choice or if this is just the result of film degradation. The other Madhouse OVA, Date with the Spirit, will retain a more vibrant color palette in line with Forever My Darling and the rest of the series. Date with the Spirit shines a spotlight on Tsubame, a side character who doesn't make a whole lot of appearances throughout the anime. Tsubame was supposed to meet Sakura for a date, only to find a young teenage girl in his bed named Maiko. Upon 10 finding out about this, he alerts Lum, Taru, and Sakura, and they all barge in Tsubame's room to investigate. They soon find out Maiko is actually a ghost who is infatuated with Tsubame, but this puts a strain on Sakura and Tsubame's relationship. Eventually, the group encountered another ghost named Mamoru, who was Maiko's boyfriend. He explains the 2 were a famous couple in the spirit world before Maiko got mad at a misunderstanding and left him. In the end, the 2 make up and they return to the spirit world. This was a nice OVA that gave more attention to Sakura and Tsubame, as well as Lum and Taru. Even Mendo gets wrapped up in the chaos by the end. Character designer and animation director Atsushi Shigeta I think did a better job in this OVA than the previous. Both Maiko and Mamoru's designs really stand out to me. As for pre-existing characters, they look great too, with Ataru's pink shirt and Sakura's dress. They all nail that late 80s and early 90s Japanese fashion. Here I thought I had a blast revisiting Tomobiki, and I would love to cover more Urusei Yatsura such as the movies or other obscure content in the future. In the meantime, I hope you all have enjoyed your summer, and I'll see you next time.